Hello there, I'm Artistic Gamer 7, and welcome back to another video here on the channel. We are obviously doing another build today, but this one is a little bit different than what I'm actually used to and what I normally do. So with this one, I am actually probably going to attempt to try the Not So Berry challenge. I don't know when, because I am thinking about doing something for Snowy Escape, and by the time you're seeing this is probably like not too long after Snowy Escape releases, because I have one other build that I'm for surely going to be posting before this one, technically the part 2 of it. So this one definitely probably is going to be going up like shortly after Snowy Escape, or about the same time that Snowy Escape is launched. But yeah, I am considering actually doing something for Snowy Escape. I'm not entirely sure if I am going to or not. I've been thinking about it, and then if I was going to, like, what sim I would use, would I make a new sim, what would I do necessarily. So I'm still in, like, the deciding process of whether or not I'm going to do anything for it. So if I do something for Snowy Escape, I will definitely be waiting to do the Not So Berry challenge, but I do want to actually give it a try. I had been seeing it going around for years before, and I just never really looked into it, and I actually, for some reason, never watched anyone give it a try. So I was just like, and what little bit I knew of it slightly didn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but now that I've actually looked more into it, and I was like, oh, that makes a whole lot more sense. So, and I actually wanted to give it a try, because I like actually doing challenges, but it's just like, my biggest problem is I come up with so many different random things and ideas that I want to try for videos for Sims, or just in Sims in general, that I get a little carried away if I'm not careful. I've gotten better at not, like, going insanely crazy about it, so I'm able to sort of limit myself and basically be like, okay, like, we got this going on, wait till it's over, or, you know, something like that. And I actually know that the Fame Trio is winding up. I don't know how many more episodes I'm going to record. I'm definitely going to record a few more episodes, from what I've recorded now. By the time this video comes out, I don't know how far it's going to be. I think it'll be to part, like, 27 or 28, and I've recorded up to 31. And I'll definitely go to at least 35 parts on, the Fame Trio. I may go a little bit over that, but it's probably going to be somewhere in between 35 to 40 parts. It probably will not be more than 40, and it definitely will at least be 35. So, either way, it's getting close to an end, and where it's going up weekly, it won't be necessarily too much longer before that finishes. My Sims 4 Occult Discussions that I have currently planned to actually talk about only have like 2 more videos to make for that one, so that means that's going to be coming to end, which also means that the cast series that I have alongside that, where I show and talk about the decision making of making the Sims for the thumbnails. So there's 3 things that are coming close to an end with Sims, and even without Sims, like, I've been talking about it for a while because I think it's coming up. I think Tales of Berseria is also going to be ending very soon, and Legend of Zelda won't be too far behind. The thing with Zelda is it's harder to say the series how long, because it takes how long it takes me to find all the shrines, because that is like my main goal at this point before I go and finish the game, is finding all the shrines. So there's a lot of series basically coming up that are getting close to the end, or getting close to the process that is starting the end. So I definitely know there's going to be a lot of new series coming up eventually. I don't know what I'm going to have replace Tales of Berseria and Zelda yet, because I won't replace them with a Sims thing, but if you like watching Sims and other games, that's just something you know. But yeah, so I have potentially 3 series ending on dealing with Sims. Technically a 4th one, the Pokemon to Cast series. I have got all the videos done. They're all edited. I've even got them scheduled. So I know exactly when that series is ending currently, and that is like at the very beginning of December. So that series is also ending, but I already know what's replacing that one, so that one's a little bit different. I know what series is replacing it. It's another cast series, but for the other ones, I don't know what's going to be replacing them. So I'll probably try to, like I said, I'm probably going to try to do a Snowy Escape thing. But if I do decide to start that right away, right when I get Snowy Escape, then the Not So Berry challenge will be after one of the other things end. Probably Fame Trio, because I think Sims 4 Cult Discussions is going to finish sooner, so it'd be like Snowy Escape is going to start solely replacing that time spot, and then Not So Berry will replace the Fame Trio. But I did actually want to go ahead and build my house that I would at least start with, just in case I do actually decide to do that sooner than later, depending on what I decide for the Snowy Escape, and how it seems like my other series are going as well, because like I said, Sims 4 Cult Discussions, I literally think I only have 1 or 2 more other videos that I've got to make for that one, and that means it's going to be ending within the next week or 2. So, and that one's going to free up 2 spots, technically, so I might go ahead and start trying the Not So Berry challenge. Let me know if you'd really like me to see me try it sooner rather than later. But I did want to make the house for it, just in case I decide to actually do it a little bit sooner than potential, but it's here. And also, you know, I am behind a little bit. I'm not necessarily behind on my builds, but I'm the type of person that things sometimes just randomly happen in my life, things that I don't plan. It happens a lot. I'm sure it happens to a lot of people, but it just seems like for me, the way that I work and do editing and recording and things like that, and maybe, you know, part of this is also with an anxiety-related thing. If you've watched a few of my videos, I've talked about this year was the first year that, you know, I technically was given medication for anxiety, and, like, I've come to the point where, you know, I know that I have it. It was always the thing that was on the back of my mind, but I don't self-diagnose, and at the same time, I was just like, nah, I'm fine. But this year, it got real bad. I actually started having panic attacks and stuff like that. So I was actually put on medication for a bit. So I don't know if it is an anxiety-related thing, but I like having backups. I like having things done a little bit further in advance, if possible. Some things, the way that you have to do them, you can't do that, but when it comes to builds, I feel like that's fine. Builds, I can easily build ahead of time and edit the video and have them ready to go. So I like having more than one build ready to go, and like as of recently I haven't. The whole month of October I was having to quickly build the haunted builds as I was going through October. They were literally built the day before or the days before they were posted, versus some of my builds in the past I have built a week or 2 before, and I'm just now posting them and deciding the order. So I like to have more than one build ready to go for videos, so that's why I decided to go ahead and build this partially. That's a few of the reasons. But I will be putting this up on the gallery. There is no CC in it, so if you wanted to also give the Not So Berry challenge a try, or like you're redoing it and trying to change it a little bit, but you want a different house, or you don't want to build the house, you can feel free to use this house, because I am going to be putting it up on the gallery. It's going to be the Mint Starter Home. And Artistic Gamer is my origin ID. All that information is always going to be in the descriptions. If you have a hard time remembering or whatever, and you just want to go look down in the description for it, you can do so. And with that being said, you probably, if you have watched any of my builds, or at least like you've been glancing at my builds, like the videos of how long they are, most of my builds tend to at least go to 20 or so minutes, depending on how big the build is and what it entails and stuff like that. I try not to get them over like 35-40 minutes, because of just, some people don't want to sit down that long. I'm someone who, I can watch literally like an hour, 2 hour long videos sometimes, especially if I'm editing. A lot of times I like playing videos in the background, and like every once in a while, you know, I'll watch it, I'll take a break and like watch it, but usually I'm still hearing everything that's going on, and I like to hear, and I can just glance back every once in a while, because my TV's technically behind me, but I can still easily see it when I'm editing, and sometimes the way I sit, I actually can see the computer monitors and the TV really easy, depending on how I'm sitting when I'm editing. I try to get very relaxed sometimes. But yeah, so sometimes they do end up going over that long, and usually if they start to seem like they're going over that time span, I try to split them into 2 parts. Sometimes they're so close to that 40-minute mark that I don't think it'd be worth splitting them into, so I let it be a longer video. I did that recently with the Lizzie Borden house. It's like 42 minutes, so I was like, I didn't want to split it into two. I didn't feel like it was enough over. And the way I was doing those builds, I was trying not to split any of them. I had to split St. Albans, but there was no way that that one wasn't splitting. That thing was just huge. It was ridiculous and complicated, but I was glad that I did it. I was very, very proud of that build in the end. Anyway, point being, I rarely build small lots, especially lots that are able to be considered one of the lot options part of tiny living. I think this was the second one. It's not the smallest option, but it's also not like the biggest option they allow you, because there's like 3 options. There's like micro, teeny, and is it just small? I forget what the third one is. But so this is like the middle one. Like, it's not the smallest you can get. It's not the micro, but it's also not the biggest one allowed for the tiny living. So it does come with those lot bonuses, and I actually do pick some of the like lot traits and stuff at the end, and I actually do include that in the video because I was able to. Normally I have to cut certain things out. I have to cut either the lighting out or the bathrooms or a little mix of everything, maybe even some of the layout, just because a lot of times you can see the layout depending on how long the video is and how important I think the layout would be for the purpose of the video. I usually decide those things in editing on what do I want more, to keep it or to have the time shortened. But this video, I was literally able to keep everything in the video, and it's still quite a bit shorter than my usual builds. And on top of that, I actually did the limit of money. So it is a starter home. It is a full-blown starter home. I normally never worry about money when building either, because a lot of times I am building these houses for my Sims, and sometimes I'm going with the story of this house belonged in the family, or it was handed down to them, or whatever, or I know by the point that they move into that house that they're going to be a little bit more well off with money, or they're hopefully going to be married, so there's like a combination of money coming into play. So a lot of times I just don't worry about the money too much. I do sometimes keep a check on it. If it's going a little bit further than I want to, I'll try to make sure not to spend so much money. But with this one, I even moved in a temporary sim to the lot and built on the lot with that sim's money. So you can buy this lot with the house on it as a starter home under the 20. It gets very close, but I think I still leave at least 1,000 or a little bit more for things like bills or anything you may want to try to add to it yourself. If you have tiny living and you get the little bonus, I think it actually helps out the bills in the long run. So I'm hoping the bills on this lot actually won't be a whole lot, because I was originally trying to stay in the 2000s range with the money left over, but I just had a lot of fun putting the flowers and stuff outside. Not gonna lie, that's the biggest reason why I went over money. So technically, if you wanted a little extra money, you could always delete some things or whatever in the front. I mainly did stuff, I mainly tried to make the front look all pretty and cutesy, because that's the overall feel I wanted to go with the house. And I did try my best to keep within at least a close range of mint coloring. It wasn't that easy not having CC items and trying to keep everything as close to mint as possible. Obviously there is some blues and some that lean more towards green, but mint is a combination of the two and lightened. So I was okay with using some blues and greens here and there, as long as there was like some whites to balance it out, and also mint, like actual close to mint, to balance it out. So yeah, it is meant to be very as close to mint as possible using no CC. Now, I didn't pay attention to which packs I used, just because that would have made it extremely harder to get the sort of feel that I wanted, and the colors, so yeah. But anyway, you can always check on the gallery to see which packs I used, and you can even check to see out which items are from those packs, so that maybe you can easily replace those items with stuff from other packs, or if you have CC and you're playing this for your own personal thing, you know, you can add CC, obviously, to it. I might add CC once I start playing the Not So Berry Challenge, but we'll see. And I do actually plan on building every house for each new generation. So like the next one I think is Rose. I haven't looked any further than that other than the colors, but I don't remember the order. I just wanted to make sure there wasn't, if there was a green or a blue, to try not to get too many greens or blues in this for mint. But yeah, so I am going to build a building for each of them, but I'm going to take how much money that family has earned up to that point into account when making those builds. So I won't be building those until I have a better idea what the money situation is going to be like for those Sims. Anyway, I hope you have liked this build. If so, hit that lovely like button, subscribe if you're not already, so that you can see future builds here on the channel, including the ones for the rest of the not-so-berry family members as the generation continues on. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!